In the early years before UMOS, church groups, the Catholics, Protestants, Lutherans, etc., would be out there helping the migrant workers who needed clothing. They needed some food from the food pantry. It was these church groups that got together and came up with forming the organization. And then it became incorporated. They put a board of directors in place. They applied for the grant, and that's how the organization was born. It was specifically targeted for migrant seasonal farm workers. So the offices were in Milwaukee, but the outreach staff were out in different cities of Wisconsin. So when I saw that the organization was established to provide service to migrant seasonal farm workers, I felt that I could probably be part of that movement. So when I joined them in the early years, I could see that Salvador Sanchez, Jesus Salas, Ernesto Chacon, that they were trying to create some change within the city and within the state of Wisconsin in terms of migrant seasonal farm workers, but also for other Latinos. If you know the history behind the organization, it was not being managed by Hispanics, even though the majority of the people that they were serving were Hispanic migrant workers.
Their administration was lily white. So our demands was that the board should have more migrant and former migrants as per their grant. And what the Lily White administration did is they circled the wagons. All 5 of the non-Latino administrators says, if you want us to continue guiding the United Migrant Opportunity Services, we want contracts. All 5 of the non-Latino administrators resigned as a result of them not getting a contract. And I thought to myself, what have we done? You know, our demands have now resulted in the grant being threatened. So I said, yeah, I'm going to apply for the job. I feel that, you know, that I'm responsible for some of the activities that have been going on and for these guys losing their job.
We needed someone that had the experience in the Latino community, had the experience of serving the community, and Jesus Salas became the first director for the Migrant Opportunity Services.
So I made a commitment at that time when I came at UMOS that I would stay for 2 funding cycles and just pass on the baton to someone else. So we changed the agency and made it, instead of a service agency, make it an advocate for migrant and Latino issues.
We're trying to use issues to kind of build consciousness and to expose sort of the contradictions of what were existing in regards to Latinos and their rights, their civil rights, and hopefully to build a kind of a mass organization that would create real change. It was idealistic, right? But the 60s were idealistic, and that's what we did. That's what we were trying to do.
There are some people who have been around in the early years of UMOS and come back and take a look at UMOS to see what it is right now. They see that there have been significant changes. So in the original years, you would see primarily serving migrant seasonal farm workers. There were primarily Latinos. Now what you see is a diversity of clients that we serve. We serve Latinos, Asians, African Americans, whites, etc.
If you look at UMOS today, they have over 300 employees. 90% of those employees live in our neighborhood. They were part of our movement. They were part of picket lines and marches and takeovers, and they were able to stay in the neighborhood, and now they're working in UMOS and serving our community.
In the early years of UMOS, because we were just getting started and the population that we were serving was very targeted, we were serving anywhere between 14 to 15,000 clients or participants. Today, the organization has grown and is very diverse, and of course we're multi-state. So we serve in excess of 250,000 people.